Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. What's up, fight fans? Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the upcoming title fight, Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane. So let's get right into it. First off, this is my most anticipated heavyweight match of all time. Never before have we had such technique and fight IQ come up against this level of raw potential and strength. Either man can win this fight, but let's take a closer look at how they may win this fight. For Francis Ngannou, I say his best shot at winning is to improve his footwork and look to keep Ciryl Gane on the back foot. It's going to be a hard ask, given that Gane pivots off the center line really well and pressures you from different angles, but Ngannou can't find himself frozen up in there and waiting for Gane to start the engagement. Ngannou needs to come forward and try to open up Gane with something. For example, his feints and work to the body. I don't see Ngannou having much success going out there and headhunting. He needs to make Gane respect that body damage is a threat, and that's going to better open up the head. Because Gane can be very reactionary, and if Ngannou gives him a lot to think about, it increases his chances. Now, that being said, I do think that Gane has the advantage to giving different looks and feinting. It comes down to reads. You have to read the situation in there, and sometimes it's a gamble. If you happen to make the wrong read at the wrong time, it's like rock, paper, scissors, but being laser focused increases your reflexes. Gane needs to somewhat limit the arsenal of things he throws, or at least only throw them at specific times. If he attempts to throw a side kick to the body like this, out in the open, I do see Ngannou landing something devastating. Ngannou showed that he has improved his wrestling, is now very dangerous if he has your back. I think he'll actually utilize his wrestling to maintain control of the back rather than disengage when you can't get the KO like Derek Lewis did. I also give the strength advantage to Ngannou as well, so keep that in mind. Ngannou tends to narrow his stance at the wrong times, like when he should be moving instead, and he'll still cross his feet. If that's Ciryl Gane circling in on you, you'd better reset the footwork. And Ngannou's uppercuts are going to be dangerous in this one. They're so long, and Gane will likely be dipping his head when they get too close to try to roll on the hooks and avoid straights and overhands and possibly grab up, clinch till he can find another way out of the pocket. Now, this is what Gane's last line of defense looks like right here. He was stuck in that pocket, and his only defense left was his guard. He will shell up when he's stuck in the pocket like this, and he actually does it again right after, so twice in a row on engagements that were too close for his comfort. And Ngannou might prepare for this and pull a hook in closer than usual or toss out a straight instead, maybe take a back step beforehand. Because Gane has to bring his hands up in reaction to someone's offense, it really only gives him one thing that he can defend. If Ngannou times this and doesn't crash in and throw the straight from a bit further away, it might be lights out for Gane. I say Gane's best chance at winning this fight is to lead the dance. He needs to be taking different angles, forcing him to plant his feet and have to turn in order to face him. This will make Ngannou an easier target, and he'll make it so he's not able to effectively land his power hand. Look out for the left hook. Look out for the jab. He's got a good jab. And that might be it. When Ngannou isn't in control of the pressure, he'll sometimes stop in place and adjust his stance like he just remembered that he actually did his homework or something. He tends to step forward, fill out the situation, and plant his feet, then withdraw if they're coming in with something or follow up if they retreat. I see Gane's leg kicks finding a home in this one. Ngannou doesn't have elite level leg defense. He mostly likes to dodge out of the way of them, but Gane won't just be throwing them out there naked. He'll likely tag them in when Ngannou decides to plant his feet, or after he throws something, or hiding them behind a combo. I feel like it won't be just Gane's leg kicks, though. I see him fitting in the jab on the downbeats of Ngannou and trying to chain a combo after, retreat, or crash into him with clinch. Ngannou kind of rocks in place when he's looking for what he needs to throw, and I see Gane interrupting him a lot when he's standing still and only taking one step forward to close the distance. The only time he takes multiple steps is when he's throwing out an offense, when he's chasing you down with combos. But for the most part, he steps forward into his stance, and he'll wade back and forth and then make a move from there. Ciryl Gane is a genius in terms of strategy. Here's something to point out. It's kind of small, but it actually makes a huge difference against power punchers. Watch how he pivots off the center and gradually starts walking toward Derek Lewis, galloping, I should say, diagonally. He's taking the outside foot advantage while moving himself further and further away from Lewis's power hand. If Lewis would have engaged there, he would have been at an incredible disadvantage. It's taking away tools of his own and increasing Gane's options of things to safely throw. The smart thing to do is reset the footwork and try to start the engagements on your term. And if he can get Ngannou backing up, Ngannou's abilities decline rapidly. I see Gane being able to pretty handily get away from Ngannou's power punches and maintain range when Ngannou plants himself looking to land his power. I see Ngannou really reaching for the strike at certain points, even exposing himself. Even though he has great movement and high fight IQ, Ciryl Gane keeps his head really high and his chin out. He does bring his rear hand up if he's expecting his opponent to throw something, but he typically keeps his hands low and his head high. Now, before I make my final call, let's look a little closer at some sparring footage of the two themselves back when they're training partners at the MMA Factory in Paris. First off, I'd like to point out that Ngannou feints up top with his lead hand, throws it straight to the body, rolls underneath the post of Gane, and proceeds to throw out a wide left hook. This lands right on the shell that we were discussing as Gane's last line of defense earlier. He ends up landing with his arm, and Gane wouldn't have taken the damage. But something to keep in mind, this is just sparring, and Ngannou looks tired. If he tries this and is fresh and throwing it 100%, I think this might land. I think he'll make little adjustments to try and find the mark there. We can see as we carry on that there will be a war of the jabs and hand fighting, and Ngannou needs to use that jab to keep Gane humble. Gane can neutralize your power hand, but when he also has to worry about the lead hand, it can make him think twice. I don't know, man. I see the openings for Ngannou, but can he do it? That's the question. I still believe he has a limited gas tank, and he has to be right on the money for it. In clinch, Gane has a technique of using his hand to kind of push away the arm of his opponent, usually at the bicep or the shoulder. Usually you can use this kind of technique and possibly avoid some damage, but I feel like it's risky, especially if there's a little bit of sweat on them or maybe even blood. I feel like Ngannou might break free, and that could cause Gane some problems. And you can also see here when Gane rolls under in anticipation of a hook or overhand in close boxing range, and Ngannou actually finds the timing for an uppercut. This was just beautiful. We could see another Alistair Overeem type KO, or maybe Gane gets put stiff when an explosive Ngannou breaks his arm free for a hook just outside of clinch. Last thing to point out here, watch as Ngannou leans forward, pawing with his lead hand and reaches for a straight, but Gane parries the straight and lands a nice lead hook from orthodox. He then steps back, transitioning into southpaw, and slips the jab, wrapping up a single tie clinch. He uses that grip around the back of the neck and an arm drag to rotate out from there. Beautiful work from Gane. This is just sparring, though, so we can't look too much into it. Of course, sparring is going to favor the more technical fighter in there rather than the knockout artist. This is a really hard fight to call. This might be one of the hardest fights I've ever had to call. Literally either man can win. And maybe it's a bad hunch, but I feel like it might be 50-50. Ultimately, though, I'm going to go with Ciryl Gane via decision. It's really hard to pick against Ngannou due to his savageness and power, but as an analyst, I have to side with the more technical fighter in there. I have to believe that technique can win the day. He has more tools in his toolbox and knows when to use them. I don't think his performance will be as dominant as his win over Derek Lewis, but it's a similar situation. One person has a couple of incredibly refined skills, but the other has a higher fight IQ and more versatility. I wouldn't be shocked for a second round knockout from Ngannou. I don't think it'll be in the first. I think Ngannou's going to play it smart, play it slow, and try to find some openings in the first round, and then try to go for the kill in the second. Then again, I can see Ngannou winning in any of the first 3 rounds. I also wouldn't be shocked if Gane gets a late TKO, maybe in the 4th or the 5th round, if he's pressured Ngannou and kind of tired him out in there. Looking into my crystal ball, though, I think Ngannou's cardio will somewhat hold up due to the fight probably being a chess match on the feet. I don't think Gane will try to put too much pressure and risk anything crazy. And I don't imagine that Gane can impose his grappling on Ngannou. Ngannou has showed his grappling defense is leaps and bounds above where it was before the second Stipe fight. I think Ngannou's chin and Gane's focus will hold up in this one. So I'm picking Ciryl Gane via decision. It's risky, I know, but sometimes you just gotta leap. With that, I'll go ahead and wrap things up. If you like the content we're providing, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you disagree with our picks, make sure to berate us down in the comments below. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you can even follow me personally on Twitter. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight.